Jai Swaminarayan. Pranam and Namaskar to respected Pujya Swamijis, to the students, the faculty, and the administration here at Shree Swaminarayan Gurukul International School in Bangalore. It is my distinct honor to be here. I thank respected Pujya Swamiji for inviting me and having me here at Gurukul. This campus is so divine and so heavenly. It is incredible. And what a beautiful campus you all have. And you are all so fortunate to be right here at Gurukul. Now, I would like to start by mentioning the 3 key principles that shape what you do every day here at Gurukul and what you learn. And
IT, pharma, healthcare, technology, the largest film industry in the world after Hollywood, cricket World Cup champions, and even more than that. India has established itself as a nuclear power, the 5th largest economy in the world's largest democracy with the richest tradition and culture on earth. And of course, India is the world's spiritual guru. And these qualities, these achievements that India has accomplished are thanks to the hard work of our previous generations. They worked tirelessly and devoted their lives to making sure that all of our lives in the present are the best they can be to help make this nation a great one. And now it's our generation's turn to help shape the future of our nation and uphold that legacy. If each one of us does our part and excels, then together, India as a nation can rise up and secure its rightful position amongst the greatest nations in the world. And to do this, I've observed a set of 5 key principles. 5 steps for success. 5 steps which have changed my life and which I believe will undoubtedly help change yours. These 5 steps are, firstly, finding your passion, what it is you have a burning desire to do in your life. 2, setting up a goal for you to work towards. Number 3, work hard without distractions. Number 4, overcoming challenges and dealing with stress. And 5, perseverance, never giving up until you reach your goal. I want to share and discuss these 5 steps for success with you all so that together we can continue the incredible legacy that we have inherited. So let's start talking about our first point today, passion. And we can do this by starting off with an interesting question. How many of you have considered what you will be doing in the next 5 years? Now, what about the next 10 years? It's an interesting question, right? What career path do you see yourself in? And this is a very crucial question because it allows us to focus on our passion. Now is the perfect time to find your passion because finding your passion allows you to build the foundation for the future of your life. So let's start with an example, and that example is me. So When I was a baby, I had a lot of interest in words and the English language. I mean, that's a photo of me in a library, as an example. And so, recognizing this, my parents created a supportive environment in which I could excel doing what I loved. And it was only in that environment where I could delve deep into this field that I realized spelling and the English language is my passion. And that's why, when I was 2, I competed in my first spelling bee. As you can see, that's a photo of me taking the written test. I made it past that written round and into the orals, and that instituted a lifelong love of spelling and words. A lifelong love that continues to this day and will continue for the rest of my life. That is my passion. And for you, each one of you, your passion could be anything. Like absolutely anything. It does not have to be just academics. Your passion could be, for example, in sports or media or politics or technology or entertainment or spirituality. It could be anything that you choose. In our generation, we are so lucky to have a plethora of new career opportunities. It means that you can pursue the career that is best for you. This school is helping you find that passion. And what's left for you is to take off from there and fly high. And I know that some of us are still on the pathway to finding our passion. And that is perfectly okay. Because I guarantee you, if you keep searching, you will find your passion. And more importantly, you will know when you found your passion. Because when you do work that you are passionate about, it won't feel like you're working. It'll feel like fun, or it'll feel like an activity that you enjoy doing. And when you find that passion, it'll build your future. So that's why it is so important to set up that initial first step and find your passion. And next up, after we've found it, is to set up a goal, a challenging but achievable goal that relates to that passion. Now, for me, setting up a goal has always been something that I've done a lot, and in particular, I'd like to quote a very important person when it comes to setting up a goal. And that important person is our former president, Sri Abdul Kalam. He once said, Sri Abdul Kalam once said, having a small aim is a crime. So, have a great aim. And these words are very, very true. They ring true. And that's why my number one tip when it comes to setting up a goal is always aim big. If you aim big, you will be able to achieve so much more in your life by establishing ambitious long-term goals. For me, when I was competing in the spelling bee, again, like this, I started with a long-term goal with the help of my parents. And this long-term goal was to win my regional spelling bee and qualify to compete in the nationals. This was a challenging task. So we divided it into short-term goals. These short-term goals would consist of first, winning my classroom bee, second, winning my school bee, and third, winning my regional bee. And the benefit of dividing my long-term goal into short-term objectives is that it provides a clear outline of what we should do. It creates, steps, short steps that you can take to achieve a goal that previously seemed impossible, but is now simple, straightforward, and efficient. So for me, I went on that path taking down each of those goals, each of those short-term objectives. And eventually, after 4 years of hard work, I achieved my goal. In 2016, I qualified by winning my Regional B and became the youngest boy to ever compete at the Scripps National Spelling Bee. And not just that, that method allowed me to compete, returning to the National Spelling Bee a record total of 6 times. And the underlying message from all of this story is that establishing ambitious long-term goals and then dividing them into smaller short-term goals, that allows you to define a clear roadmap of what tasks you should do right now to succeed in the future. And while we're on this topic of establishing goals, it's an excellent first step. But those goals will not be reached unless we have the focus and dedication to make it possible. Which is why, as I'm sure you all know, it is very, very crucial for all of us to work hard. Establishing efficient time management strategies and then focusing on our goals no matter what happens will allow us to achieve our goals quicker, better, and more efficient. So, we'll start by talking about time, because time is the most valuable thing in this world, or at least I would say that. And the reason why is because, well, without time, where would we be? Without the time that we have in our lives, what will we be doing? Well, nothing, right? Time is crucial because it only happens once. And not only the fact that it happens at all, that time is like a river. It waits for no one. Each one of us has the same 24 hours in a day, and we need to be able to use these 24 hours to the maximum if we want to succeed. And in our fast-paced world, as I'm sure you're all aware, maintaining focus on our goals is getting a lot more difficult, thanks to plenty of recent distractions, like, for example, phones or video games, social media, streaming, TV, and countless others. And in order to prevent these distractions from taking up and consuming our valuable time, we need to be smart. And so, for me, I've had plenty of distractions in my life. But for me, those distractions were, for example, TV appearances, media interviews, or my YouTube channel, which has nearly 1 million subscribers now. But crucially, I did not let those distractions sway me away from my primary goal of excelling at the spelling bee, even though those distractions were actually pretty helpful and gave me lots of valuable experiences. My primary goal was on the spelling bee, and so that's what I set out to do. And the number one tip that I used in order to make that happen was undoubtedly establishing a daily schedule. Establishing a daily schedule allows you to keep track of what tasks you should do right now and when you should do them. And I'm sure some of you already have a timetable or a schedule, but if you don't yet, I urge you to do this, because it allows you to keep track of your goals, not just in the long term or in the short term, but every single day. And we can see an example of this exact strategy used by Benjamin Franklin, one of America's founding fathers and one of my role models. And he constantly reviewed what he did every single day in order to make sure that he was on track. And doing this allowed him to become successful, serving as America's first diplomat, first postmaster general, and a prolific inventor. Now, In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, Karmanye vadikaraste mafaleshu kadachana. And this translates to, do your duty, but do not think about the results. The most important thing in your life should be your goals and your responsibility. So without thinking about the outcome, just do your duty. Dedicate yourself fully to your goals. In short, what this shloka is telling you is work hard. And I have one final piece of advice to say regarding working hard. And it's that, well, when it comes to working hard, I urge you to make the right choice and do so now rather than later. And the reason why is because hard work is a necessity for success, as I'm sure you're all aware. And so, when it comes to using this necessity, we need to be able to do that right now, because working hard now sets us up for a less stressful and more successful life in the future. So I'm sure you're all smart enough to know what the right choice is to make. And so just make sure working hard now is going to lead you to a much more successful path in the future. And that essentially is what we want in life. And now, while we're on the topic of working hard, we should take a moment to address challenges. Because challenges are everywhere in our lives, as I'm sure you all know. And so, the key thing that we should try to do at that moment in time is to consider ways to overcome those challenges. Consider the ways we can fix the situation, or at the very least, improve it. And so, let's discuss how we can do that, with an example from my life to start. My run at the 2016 National Spelling Bee ended in the 3rd round. And for anyone, especially for a 6-year-old, well, getting a word wrong, like misspelling, and then being eliminated from the competition, well, live TV on ESPN, yes, that would have felt devastating. But in those conditions, I took the time to calm down and come to terms with reality. At that point, I had already been eliminated, and I couldn't change that. But I knew that I could change the attitude surrounding the situation. So, here is what I did when I was facing that severe pressure. If it could load, one sec. Let me see. Let's hope it'll load. Yes, okay, there. For context, this is a video, so if we could have the audio just a bit up, that would be the best before we play it. And for context, this is the video of exactly what I did when I was eliminated from the spelling bee, under that severe pressure and in that scenario. Oh, let me see. I think it's a video, or it's intended to be a video. So I'll try and do this and see what happens. We'll see if it does anything. And if it doesn't, that's fine, no worries, but we'll give it a shot and see if it works. And even if it doesn't, no worries. So, yeah, I'll just move it back. It's fine though, no worries. So what happens here is I calm myself down, obviously, but then I thank the organizers for the opportunity, wish my fellow competitors good luck, then exchange a few high fives, and then gracefully exit the stage. And doing that served as an act of sportsmanship, of just accepting that, okay, I lost, but I want to turn this positive. I want to, thank the organizers and, say good luck and, say I'll hope to come back next year. And so doing that actually caught the attention of top US morning show, ABC's Good Morning America, as you can see here. And so What that meant is that the subsequent video from Good Morning America went viral. And ultimately, what that means is that overcoming challenges, no matter what comes your way, by thinking about it in the positive outlook, with a positive way of life, doing that is going to massively change your life in ways that you didn't even know. Like for me, that video going viral, that was probably one of the best things that has happened. And so what could have been a sad event, getting eliminated, turned into one of the best experiences that I've had. And now, when we talk about overcoming these challenges, it is important that there are times when we feel like it's too much, right? And I'm sure everyone's felt that at some point. There may be times when things feel a bit too overwhelming or daunting. And in those times, it is essential to remember the wise words of Swami Vivekananda, who once said, "Arise, awake, and stop not until the goal is reached." And so, these words reflect the number one tip when it comes to progress and success in life. And that tip is undoubtedly to never give up. I'll say that again because it is so important. The number one tip out of everything that you have seen in this talk today is to never give up. And you should never give up, because it is only when we persevere, when we strive to reach our goals, that positive change will happen in our lives. And so, when it comes to this, never giving up, I have an example to share with you all. And you can ask your parents this. How many times did you fall as a baby before you finally learned to walk? The answer is probably countless times, right? And I urge you to ask your parents about this, because it is a very important thing to mention. Because every single stumble that we had when we were a baby taught us a valuable lesson, and we learned from those lessons to eventually walk. And that is something that we can learn from and apply to everyday life. It is essential at this point in our lives to embrace failures, to take the right step and believe in the power of perseverance, because we will constantly be learning from every new challenge that comes our way. And ultimately, no matter how many times you may fail, you will eventually succeed. Very few people are ever fortunate enough to become successful in their first few attempts. As an example, Thomas Edison faced nearly 2,800 failures before he finally invented the working light bulb that we use in this school and everywhere around the world, that lit up the future of humanity forever. And so, what that boils down to is failures are the stepping stones for success. Once again, in the words of former President Abdul Kalam, FAIL means first attempt in learning. So, never fear failure, my friends. Never give up. And so, when we come back to our 5 central steps for success, these are crucial because they helped shape my life. They are the reason I'm standing in front of you all today. And the hope is one day, using these 5 steps for success, firstly by finding your passion, then by setting up a goal, by working hard, overcoming challenges, and never giving up. By following these 5 steps, your lives will be dramatically changed in the same way that it changed my life. Gurukul, Shree Swaminarayan Gurukul International School, has imbued you, each one of you, with the best values for success. Vidya, Sadvidya, Brahmavidya. It has prepared you all to achieve success in the future in whatever you choose to become. Gurukul has given you all an excellent foundation for your future with great values. And now, I urge each of you to make the most out of this foundation and make India proud. Because the incredible achievements that India has accomplished over the past 77 years are just the start of the great story that this nation has to offer. And I believe that with dedication, passion, and perseverance, each one of you will help enlighten the world and elevate India to greater heights. So, dhanyavad, everyone. Jai Hind, and God bless India and the United States of America. Thank you.